Counsel for the Governor, Mrs. Katwa Kigen, and Peter Wanyama made an application to be allowed to call the expert evidence of one Mr. Job Okun Oguya, whom they claimed to be an information technology expert. Counsel sought to be allowed to rely on evidence on behalf of the Governor on the report prepared by the said Mr. Oguya on 25th of August 2025 and his affidavit sworn at Nairobi on the 27th of August 2025. Now, Counsel for the Governor asserted that they had served the Counsel for the County Assembly by email with a report and affidavit sought to be relied on, and that the hard copies were available for circulation to honorable senators. Counsel for the County Assembly opposed the application, arguing that this was an attempt by the Governor's side to introduce new evidence at this late time during the impeachment trial, and that this would be prejudicial to the County Assembly's case. Honorable Senators, you will recall that I undertook to make a ruling on the application after having sight of the document sought to be relied on by the Governor. I have since had sight of the documents. They are contained in a bundle titled Volume 5, His Excellency Eric Kipkoech Mutai Defense Response Affidavit of Okun Job Oguya. In the affidavit, Mr. Oguya deposed that he holds a Bachelor of Science, Computer Science degree from Kenyatta University, having graduated in the year 2014, and that he is currently the project consultant, Security and Networks at Cyber Hub Systems, with the mandate to provide high-level threat detection penetration testing for clients. He further deposed that he was requested to analyze the extracts of the system audit logs, which are contained in Volume 4A of the County Assembly documents, and was also given the affidavit of Mr. Alfred Kimtai Korir, contained in Volume 2 of the County Assembly documents, to make observations on the matter. Honorable Senators, Mr. Oguya deposed that he undertook a cybersecurity audit of Kericho County Assembly electronic voting system and made observations contained in a report, which report was also attached. Now, Honorable Senators recall that yesterday, in disallowing the preliminary objection raised by the Governor's side, contesting the voting system and the threshold of the vote at the Kericho County Assembly, I ruled, among other things, that no summary determination of this matter is possible without these witnesses taking the stand to give evidence and being subjected to cross-examination in the usual manner. I further ruled that the only way for the Senate to determine this question is to receive evidence on the matter, evaluate the same, and make a finding one way or the other on the preponderance of evidence. Now, Honorable Senators, Rule 10 of the Rules of Procedure for Hearing and Determination of the Proposed Removal from Office by Impeachment of a Governor provides as follows. The Senate may, at the request of the County Assembly or the Governor, invite or summon any person to appear and give evidence before the Senate. Rule 2 of the said rules make it very clear that the impeachment proceedings are an investigation to determine whether the particulars of the allegations against the Governor have been substantiated. Now, Honorable Senators, on the basis of the importance of the question on the voting system and the voting process that was undertaken, and noting the ruling that I made yesterday, and on the strength of Rule 10 of the Rules of Procedure, I will allow the application by Counsel for the Governor to admit the affidavit by Mr. Job Okun Oguya and his report on the cybersecurity audit on the Kericho County Assembly electronic voting system. I find that the opposition by the County Assembly to the application is outweighed by the need for the Senate to get to the root of the voting system and the voting process. No prejudice will be suffered by the County Assembly if the Senate establishes the truth on this matter. I also note that for similar reasons yesterday, I allowed the County Assembly's application to provide documentation which had been referred in its submitted documents but had not been attached. Now, Honorable Senators, in allowing the governor to call its expert witness, I direct that the governor's side will have to accommodate the witness within its time as already allocated. The evidence of the witness will also be limited to matters raised in the evidence of the county assembly. The witness will be subject to cross-examination in the usual manner. Honorable Senators, I also wish to make an additional ruling on this matter. It has become apparent from hearing the evidence so far adduced in this case and the examination, cross-examination and re-examination of Mr. Alfred Korir Kimtai, Head of Information Communication and Technology, Kericho County Assembly, as well as the request by the governor's application to call the expert witness, that the Senate requires neutral, impartial, and dispassionate advice on the matter away from the witnesses of the parties. Indeed, this was referred to by Senator Moses Kajwang, MP, when seeking clarification from the County Assembly witness. Senator Kajwang reminded the Senate of its power to summon any person to assist it in its investigation in an impeachment process. The Senate has indeed invoked this jurisdiction before. For this reason, therefore, I direct the Office of the Clerk to immediately contact the Information Communication Technology ICT Authority of Kenya and request the authority to provide the Senate with 2 ICT experts to come and assist the Senate in this matter. I direct that the Office of the Clerk provides facilities for the 2 experts from the ICT Authority to sit with the head of ICT of Kericho County Assembly and the ICT expert called by the governor, together with the representatives, whether council or otherwise, of the County Assembly and the governor, and for the experts from the ICT Authority to prepare a report for consumption of the Senate. The report, which must be brief and concise, should be submitted to the Office of the Clerk of the Senate not later than 6 p.m. today, Thursday, the 28th of August, 2025, and must answer the following questions. 1, did an electronic voting process take place using the system? 2, is the number of MCAs who voted on the impeachment of the governor verifiable? Number 3, was it possible for any MCA or any other person who had a link to vote on the motion on behalf of an MCA or another MCA? Number 4, how many MCAs voted in the affirmative on the motion to impeach the governor? Number 5, is there any evidence of multiple voting or other compromise of the voting system and or impropriety in the voting system or process? It is so ordered. Next witness. You may, Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for that. And my mind is telling me there is something